Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views which others find inadmissible. The pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. As a child I felt myself to be alone, and I am still, because I know things and must hint at things which others apparently know nothing of, and for the most part do not want to know. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth, and if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. Whatever is rejected from the self, appears in the world as an event. Thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. There are as many nights as days, and the one is just as long as the other in the year's course. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. The best political, social, and spiritual work we can do is to withdraw the projection of our shadow onto others. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego, the second half is going inward and letting go of it. If there is anything that we wish to change in a child, we should first examine it and see whether it is not something that could better be changed in ourselves. Every human life contains a potential. If that potential is not fulfilled, then that life was wasted. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. It all depends on how we look at things, and not on how things are in themselves. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. There can be no transforming of darkness into light and of apathy into movement without emotion. If one does not understand the person, one tends to regard him as a fool. Sometimes you have to do something unforgivable just to be able to go on living. Without this playing with fantasy, no creative work has ever yet come to birth. The debt we owe to the play of the imagination is incalculable. Midlife is the time to let go of an over-dominant ego and to contemplate the deeper significance of human existence. Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. Nobody, as long as he moves among the chaotic currents of life, is without trouble.